Well, Premier League is in full effect as always this weekend. We've got 10 matches coming at you. Should be a doozy. We got a rematch. We got United Leeds again. Let's get into it, boys. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League from three friends who support different clubs. This is our preview of Match Week 23. My name is James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. And down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham. Boys, hello. How are we doing? What's going on, guys?
Oh, good. Excited to see what happens this week. See if we can't bang in some goals.
Yeah.
I'm just checking my notes from last night. I can't believe y'all let me come away with that draft. That is fantastic.
I mean, you're just going to line KDB up and Ruben Diaz right into the starting lineup, right?
Yeah, KDB, Diaz right into the lineup, Foden.
I mean, Foden probably is a super sub for you guys, right? I mean, but it'll be interesting to see how Pep manages the team this weekend.
Son does really, yeah. Pep we'll leave all the trust. Now. Yeah, we'll leave all the trust to Pep to figure out how to play this.
If you're confused and wondering what we're talking about, definitely check yesterday's news episode. We did a fun little draft of the Manchester City players. We called it the 2023 supplemental Manchester City scrapyard draft because they've been relegated according to Sean, and we need their players. So definitely check that out in yesterday's news episode. It was fun. But as I was alluding to, so this weekend, full slate of matches. We're kicking off Saturday morning. We've got West Ham hosting Chelsea in the London Derby. It's 2 in a row for Chelsea in London derbies. We'll see how they do that one. We've got Arsenal Brentford, also another London derby. We've got Palace Brighton, Fulham Forest, Leicester Spurs, Southampton and Wolves in a relegation rumble, relegation 96 pointer. So we'll see how many points everyone's going to be able to pick up in that one. We got Bournemouth and Newcastle. On Sunday, we've got Leeds hosting United. This is the reverse fixture from Wednesday, where United were hosting Leeds on Wednesday, and then they just decided to go 2 for 2, and then play again on Sunday. And then we've got City hosting Aston Villa, and rounding out the weekend is the Merseyside Derby on Monday. We've got Liverpool hosting Sean Dyche and upstart Everton Football Club. I think it looks like a pretty good slate of games this weekend. We've got a couple derbies. We've got some relegation implications. Where do you guys want to kick it off? Should we start in the Olympic Stadium with West Ham and Chelsea?
Why not? Let's start off with some of those derbies. See if let's see how we line up. Enzo looked really good. Enzo's probably playing. If Mudryk is healthy, Mudryk is playing.
Is João Felix should be back this week? Yes.
João Felix is back. Yes, João Felix is back. Does he start over Havertz? Yes, I think so.
This is the interesting question, I guess, for now that Graham Potter is going to have everybody in the team. He's going to have everybody available. So who does he play at center for between João Felix, Kai Havertz, Aubameyang? We obviously know Aubameyang's not playing, but
100%. Aubameyang,
but he's available.
Obama who?
Wow. Obama.
Sorry.
Blood cutting. Anyway, thanks troops for that one.
I think it's probably gonna be João.
It's obviously gonna be João Felix, but who's the play on the right? Is it Sterling?
Probably Sterling.
Okay.
It's not the new guy yet.
He could play Kai out there on the right. See how that works.
If we say 4-3-3,
would he not just play Mudryk on the left and Felix on the right?
And then play Kai Havertz.
Felix is more like a cam center forward, like false 9 type thing.
Okay.
I think you want Felix.
So you're switching the lineup up.
I think you want Felix playing.
Felix in the middle. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, you could do a 4-4-2, maybe.
No one plays 4-4-2 except Everton.
I know, but I'm saying you could and then have Havertz and Felix, but I don't think you do that. I don't think that's our strongest lineup.
Who plays in the midfield with Enzo?
With Enzo?
Is it Mount?
If Kova is healthy. Kovacic is healthy, I would love that. Mount, yeah. So what do we got? So far we said Mudryk left, Felix center, Sterling right, Mount in the 8-10 role, then a Kova Enzo pivot. I'm here for that front six.
Interesting. So you guys play double sixes with Graham Potter?
Yeah.
Generally speaking, yeah. The 4-3-3, yeah.
Arsenal play 4-3-3, but it's double eights, 1-6, 2 8s, essentially.
Enzo's further back. He's kind of in the middle. He's not quite a CDM, but he's a deep lying playmaker, I think is the profile that he fits. And then back for Chile. Let's get Ben Chilwell starting. Badashiel, Thiago Silva, and Reece James.
It's crazy to me that that Cucurella doesn't find a way into this team.
Chilwell's a better player. I know you don't rate Chilwell. Chilwell's a better player than Cucurella.
I mean, I don't really rate either of them, but it's just interesting to me with like how hard you guys pursued Cucurella in the summer, and you pursued him from Brighton when he was playing under Graham Potter, and now you have Graham Potter at the club, and Cucurella is not playing. Like it just seems weird to me. It's a weird situation. Now I know he's not going to be fit, but Wesley Fofana is back in training apparently, right?
He is, yes.
So is that going to give Graham Potter any headaches in a month when he's match fit?
Probably.
Do you think he comes into the side?
I think that's your rest for Thiago.
Okay. So what do you expect out of this match? Like West Ham are scrappy. They need a result. They want to stave off relegation. They're like 18th or something like that. 16th.
Assuming Mudryk's healthy, even without Mudryk healthy, we're winning this game. We should be winning this game. If we're not winning this game, then I am worried about what the rest of the season looks like.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I think that you guys should win this game. I mean, if I just look at the paper, look at who is on Chelsea's team, and honestly, you don't even really have to look at who's on the West Ham team really that closely. Right. I mean, West Ham has good players, but
this is a tryout for Declan Rice to see if he should come to Chelsea.
Why would he want?
How good is Declan?
Why would he want to be playing in the Conference League?
Better than the Championship?
He wants to be playing Champions League football. That's why he's coming to Tottenham.
He wants to be playing with his best friend Mason Mount.
He wants to be playing Champions League football, and he wants to be fighting for the Premier League. That's why he's going to Manchester City. And also, Manchester City are going to be willing to pay what?
If they're not relegated.
True, that's a fair point. I hadn't thought about that before.
We forgot about this.
Maybe Declan doesn't want to go to City if it's going to.
We talked about like this is maybe a year or two process, maybe 18 months at best.
Yeah, but if that.
But like why would you sign a 3-year contract with that team knowing you could be in the 4th tier, possibly, allegedly? Like there's nothing out there, but like it happened. If it happened to Juve, it could happen to anybody.
I mean, and beyond that, like apparently the
EFL might not accept them.
The EFL has no requirement to accept them if they're expelled from the Premier League, so they might have to go to non-league football if they were to be expelled from the Premier League. That's not going to happen. But you got to imagine that anybody who's coming to Manchester City in this under this like the auspice of this is going to have a clause in their contract that says like immediately if these charges are proven against City, my contract is terminated. Manchester City is going to pay me, like whatever is left on my contract. Like I would be arguing for that. If I'm Declan Rice and I'm signing a 5-year contract with Manchester City, I would have it in writing that if City are relegated, that my contract is immediately terminated and I get paid out the rest of whatever the part of my contract is. Like that would absolutely be a clause.
So when Juve went down, there was it was Del Piero, Buffon, and Bonucci that stayed, right?
No. Okay, so there was the player, and this is going to test me. Bonucci wasn't on the team yet. Bonucci was probably still a youth player at the time. Okay, so it was Buffon, Alessandro Del Piero.
So I got the 2 right.
Chiellini,
Really?
Marquisio, and Cameronesi.
So it was 4. It wasn't 3.
6.
It was 6 that stayed and
6.
said, "I'll take reduced wages to get the club back up."
I think that was the 6. Will will have to correct me, but
So
yeah,
I just had a quick thought about if that happens to City.
there's not a single one.
Is there Silva?
Why? No, Silva wants to leave already anyway.
Is it De Bruyne?
No, De
No.
Bruyne's probably going to go this summer too.
Like your best bet is like
Phil Foden,
Foden
maybe.
or Rico
No. Why
Lewis,
why would a 22-year-old stay?
because
Exactly.
he came up through the club.
That's the only one that you could argue is Phil Foden. Like yes, like when you look at Juve, the reason why like those players stayed was like Marquisio, Chiellini. They were youth products from Juve, and Juve is a huge footballing institution in Italy. Manchester City are not like the kids have not grown up and being like, oh, I want to go play for Manchester City. Like it's only now starting to become a thing where like kids in England are probably like being like, okay, yeah, I want to go play for City. But I'm sure the kids in England, if your options are Manchester United or Manchester City or Chelsea or City or Arsenal or City, like I'm sure that like there is some consideration. All things being equal, you would probably choose a different club over City if all other things were equal. Now, not all things are equal, but like,
Yeah.
it's not like Juve when they got relegated with Calciopoli.
Yep. But why don't we slide down to the other derby now?
Which one?
Arsenal versus Brentford.
Yeah, so this is a big match.
Brentford is the hottest team in the Prem.
Yeah, so this is a big match for Arsenal. And it's a big match because we thoroughly beat Brentford in the reverse fixture early in the season. Thoroughly beat them at their stadium. They're a tough team to play against. They're always well organized. Thomas Frank has them playing good football. But the Emirates has been a bit of a fortress for us this year. The only points we have dropped so far it was against Newcastle in the draw. So, and on top of that, we have to have a result in this match. Having lost to Everton, we have to win this match if we want to have a legitimate title conversation. I think if we lose this match, there's no way we win the title because it just portends so much for the remainder of the season. But I'm cautiously optimistic going into the match. I think we're fairly healthy at the moment. We haven't had many injuries. Thomas Partey is probably going to be fit. I know there was questions about his match fitness after the City FA Cup match, but he did feature against Everton, though it was only for 60 minutes. But I think he plays from the start. I don't think there's too much to be said about this match other than Arsenal need to win, but we're fully fit. We should run out our normal starting 11s: Zinchenko on the left, Ben White on the right, Martinelli, Saka, Nketiah, and then Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard through the middle. And I mean, like, I don't even mention center backs because that's done and dusted with Gabriel and Saliba. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think we should win. I hope we will win. If we don't win, then I'm starting to worry if we don't win this match. If we draw this match, I'm starting to worry. So that's what I'll say about that.
Interesting. Sean, do you guys take care of business against Leicester at Leicester? Yeah, I think that face says it all. For those that can't see, he's kind of speechless for a second here, thinking like, "Oh,
yeah, that's
a tough one.
That's the letdown game, right? As a Spurs fan, I know this is how it goes. You get a good result against City, you get the hopes up, and then you get 3-0'd by Leicester, and then that's just how the season goes. So, we should. How about that? We should get the result. It should be 1-0, 2-1, something like that. But all my my fandom of Spurs says this is a 3-0 Leicester.
Is Stellini taking the team again for this match, or will Conte return? Because I know there was talk that Conte may have returned, could have been back in time for the City match, but he wasn't. Stellini took charge of the team. Will
I don't know for those not in the know.
Important, yeah.
Yeah, Conte had some type of gastrointestinal problems and had his gallbladder removed. And that was days before the City game. It was 2 or 3 days before.
Yeah, I think it was earlier in the week. I think it was like 4 or 5 days before. I think it was like
Four, four or
Monday,
5 days.
Monday or Tuesday, something like that. But still,
Yeah, it was just days before. He's probably just barely out of post surgery recovery. At that point, he's probably barely able to walk.
yes.
At that point, yeah, at that point. But at this point, probably would be able to be on the sideline at least I'm sure at a reserved capacity. They would probably not let him do his normal antics on the sideline, I'm sure. So that would probably be up to the wife if he's allowed to go on the sideline and do, because he's not able to hold back.
Yeah.
If he's going to be doing all this and
didn't he
yelling,
didn't he call Harry Kane like right after?
he did. He did. He called Harry Kane after the game.
Yeah, it's like he obviously was watching, and I guarantee that there's no way that Conte could sit there and calmly watch a match.
No, and I'm sure.
Yeah, I bet his wife was beating him up.
I'm sure he is probably not allowed to play in this or to manage this next game, but if it were up to him, he'd probably be there. I'm sure.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like, I see what you're saying. It kind of seems like this is a match that Tottenham should win, but it does really feel like it's a banana peel, like that it's just ripe for slip up. And I mean, like, when we were talking about this, I pulled up Leicester's recent form because I knew that they had beat Villa in last weekend. So they beat Villa 4-2, right? And that's a good result because Villa are hot right now. Unai Emery has Aston Villa playing really well, but I wanted to like go back and see some of their other results because I was like, are they on a good run of form? But they're just Leicester are so up and down, which has been the story of their season. So like they beat Villa at the beginning of February, but then they drew Brighton 2-2 at home. They lost to Forest. They lost to Nottingham Forest. They lost to Fulham. They lost to Liverpool. They lost to Newcastle. So like their last win in a Premier League match before the Villa match was in November, before the World Cup. So like their form is not great as of late. But you know, getting a good result against a good Aston Villa team obviously helps. But I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see if they can maintain that Spurs that is, or even I guess Leicester as well, if they can maintain that the form that they're in right now. I think we round this conversation out with the Merseyside derby. So we got Everton, who are probably feeling pretty high about themselves. They're reinvigorated. They got a huge result against Arsenal last weekend. No one, I think, expected them to beat Arsenal, and maybe except Sean Dyche. And so they get the 3 points against Arsenal, and now they have the Merseyside derby. But Liverpool are kind of like ripe for the taking right now, right? Like you could do one against Liverpool, and it wouldn't seem like a shock.
I don't even think it would be like called do one against Liverpool. I think this is a legit match now. Like
okay.
I'm
not going to go that far, but
it's a rivalry game, so we can't count form.
You throw everything.
Yeah. Can Liverpool defend? They can't defend the way that they've been defending. Like, Gegenpress doesn't work with this team.
Time out, but that doesn't matter against this Everton team. You don't need to defend this team because they're not gonna. The only time they're gonna attack is on corners and set pieces. Like that's the only time Everton is going to look a threat under Sean Dyche.
But let's be real. Everton is going to get some sort of scrappy goal.
Maybe yes.
Probably.
I don't know.
Can anybody has Salah? When was the last time Salah scored a goal?
I don't know.
Like Gakpo doesn't look to be the player that we thought he was. Nunez doesn't look to be anywhere near the player who we thought he was. They don't really have a midfield. Like I guess your best midfielder right now is Thiago by a long shot. Like that's what you have. Trent probably makes something crazy happen.
I think the bigger thing about this match is just like, will Liverpool be able to break down Everton? because Everton will be very resolute in their defending, and the question is whether or not they can break them down. I don't look at this match and think about what Everton are going to do to win the match. I think about what Liverpool are going to do to win the match. I think about what Liverpool, how Liverpool are going to be able to cope with Everton's, I don't want to say trickiness, but their difficulty to score against, I guess, is my thought process. But I think this to me seems like it's going to. You think it's going to be a close match? I don't think it's going to be a close match.
Yeah.
I think this is a statement match from Liverpool. This is hey, like, we're having a terrible season, but we're still the Liverpool. You still need to worry about us, kind of thing. I think that Liverpool get a result here, and I think they get a big result here. I think they win about 3-0. Is my thought process here. I think Liverpool handily wins this game, and not because I think Everton are bad, but rather I think that this Liverpool team is like sneaky good. Like they've got good players. Everyone knows they have good players. They've got goals in their team. It's just a matter of like it coming out, and I think this is the match where it comes out.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
You're skeptical.
Weird, right? Because because like this is Klopp's pattern, and I think what happens is Klopp gets those scrappy guys that are gonna press all the time and like play great defense and has a magical player or two that bangs in goals, right? And then as he progresses, they keep getting more and more technical players that don't press the same, and therefore your high block becomes a mid block, but your defense isn't used to a mid block; they're used to a high block. And so goals just keep getting banged in. Like they couldn't get out of their half against Wolves.
Yeah, that's a weird that's a weird happenstance, I guess.
And this is Wolves we're talking about. They've let in 30 goals. This isn't the Wolves of last year that couldn't score goals but also didn't give up goals. Like
the Preston North
Wolves team isn't that great. Yeah, this Wolves isn't a great team, and they were able to do that to Liverpool. So that's my thought process. Sean, do you think Anfield plays any part in this?
Anfield's good for at least 1.5 goals.
The cop just sucks in the goals, right?
Yeah.
So when you never walk alone starts getting
pointless. Pointless. It's only once before the game, before the time even starts.
Well, they're gonna randomly start singing it in the 76th minute, and it's just the ball is going to be just gravitate to them, and it's gonna go in the goal.
Like Quidditch.
Right past Pickford.
Just like Quidditch.
Yep.
Yeah, got it. It's that is more likely than any stadium actually playing a role in a win.
Is Anfield?
No, it is more likely that the ball will actually lift off the ground by itself and go into the goal than a stadium actually playing a role in a win.
You're absolutely ridiculous. All right.
At least he doubles down. Like he's staying firm.
My flag is planted on this.
You want to talk about doubling down, bro? That's all you've been doing on this. You've been on this. Let's ask Sean about the stadium trip for like 3 weeks now. We're gonna keep doing it till it comes up once. Check back next Wednesday to see if Sean relents when Brad asks Sean if Craven Cottage was the reason that Fulham got a result against Forest.
Yeah.
But until then, that's what we got. So definitely check out some Premier League matches this weekend. Let us know in the comments which games you're excited for. If you watch one of the games, what you think, what your takeaway is. We'll be back next week Wednesday as normal with our review of all of these matches. So until then, we would love to hear from you guys. Drop us a comment down below. And if you're still listening, haven't hit the subscribe button, definitely want to do that so you'll be alerted to episodes posting next week. Ring that sub notification bell. Drop us a comment. If you're on one of the podcast sites, drop a 5-star rating if your platform allows it. And check back next week because we'll be here. Hit us up on Twitter. That's at KSBradG. Down below, that's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany, and collectively we are at redcard_radio. And until next week, thank you so much for listening. We really appreciate it, and we will see you guys next time.